Thurman is not that great of a boxer. Is strong?
Yes.
Yes. But what else? Would I get in the ring and try to go blow Keith Thurman? No, I'm not a dummy. But I'm bigger than Keith Thurman. I'm a woman, but I'm bigger.
I mean, aggressively. That's one of his greatest trademarks, one of his greatest weapons and dimensions. He wears you down. And he was wearing Thurman down. He fights that kind of pressure fight and still maintains length and height without giving it up. That's extraordinary.
Claressa Shields said, I've never been beat like that by anybody in my life. I've never had that happen. Claressa, stop. You've never fought anybody like Sebastian Fundora with that type of advantage on you in your life. You've never done that. But who cares what you've never had happen to you?
Claressa Shields sparked controversy after mocking Keith Thurman following his loss to Sebastian Fundora. During a live interview, she claimed she's the better boxer, criticizing Thurman's ability to handle body shots and questioning his overall level.
I'm longer. I got better skill. Keith got to land before he can. And then if you talking about, he only got to land once, he got to land more than once to get me out of there. But how is he going to take the punch that I give to him? Keith Thurman can't take no body shot.
You about to make me
Can he take a body shot?
She doubled down on social media, posting a harsh reaction to Thurman's defeat, saying he was beaten so badly the referee had to step in. This isn't new tension either. Shields has previously called out Thurman, even claiming she could beat him, while Thurman dismissed it as attention-seeking trash talk.
Anticipation on a terrific fight, highly anticipated fight. They just wake up to some new boxing drama. And I walked the little red carpet to go to the fight. And the last person on that red carpet brought up Claressa Shields. Are you aware, Keith Thurman, that Claressa Shields called you out this morning? And I said, yeah, I'm aware. My boy texted me in the morning about this, about her comment. So I found it from a third party. Like, I'm aware of it. And then, what's your response? You don't ask Keith Thurman for a response and not get a...
Across the boxing world, many see this as Shields pushing a rivalry that doesn't actually exist, especially since there's no real fight scheduled between the two.
Now you act like y'all sworn enemies and like, you getting beat up. Ain't nobody did that to me. You never fought a Fundora. So, of course, nobody did it to you. There's no one in the whole women's talent pool that fight like Fundora or that could Fundora. Any of them. Katie Taylor, put Katie Taylor with Fundora or anybody else for that matter. Bro, what are we talking about? Right? Made the video about that. Check that in the channel. That's all I'll say about that. Then this comes across the desk. Like, it is literally getting unbelievable. I made this post. Claressa Shields tells a fan that Papoose, her boyfriend, was not at Cardi B's concert because he was at home eating her out.
But Shields didn't hold back. She continued criticizing Thurman's performance, saying she has never been dominated the way he was against Fundora, reinforcing her belief that she operates at a higher level.
Post about Keith Thurman for this fabricated beef when he didn't never really even start anything with you. You don't really have a real beef other than you saying you want to fight a man. For me, it's corny, right? It's corny. And you're black, Keith Thurman's black, and you're just taking it to a whole nother level like y'all have some real beef. The other thing for me that I can't get down with is I don't like when people see a performance like Fundora and almost like claim credit for it, right? Somebody left me a comment. Oh, and Keith Thurman really wanted to fight Terrence Crawford.
However, analysts quickly pushed back. They pointed out that Shields has never faced an opponent like Fundora, someone with extreme height, reach, and relentless pressure, making the comparison unfair.
Wouldn't be so much, you know what I mean? So there's that. But then also Claressa Shields, right? Where you're almost, hey, ain't nobody did that to me. But you didn't fight Fundora. In fact, your whole career as a pro, you've never fought a Fundora. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Name somebody that Claressa Shields ever fought in the women's league, right? In all her fights, she got under 20 fights, that you felt could beat Sebastian Fundora, that you felt was the female equivalent of a Sebastian Fundora. So why are you bragging about this? I don't get it. Why are you bragging that another man did that to another man? Like somehow you're
Boxing analyst Fannin went further, saying Shields' comments are starting to sound disrespectful and even unrealistic given the circumstances.
So look at Claressa Shields from the perspective of Sebastian Fundora. Claressa Shields has also never put a beating on anybody like that. Never has. Put a beating like Sebastian Fundora put on Sebastian Fundora on Keith Thurman. Claressa Shields has never put that type of beating on a woman. Not like that. Not where they're like, oh my God, this is life-threatening. That's life-threatening weapons from this man. Punching down, turning down on this guy. Look, man, people say a lot of things about Sebastian Fundora, and the way that he's marketed is not accurate. That is a nasty, mean, and I think, man, unfair competitor. Like, seriously, bro, these people, even his little sister, I don't care if they put those glasses on and then they act like all smiley and stuff in front of the camera like they're nerds. They're not. Those people are very mean, very, very, very calculating, and very dangerous competitors.
While acknowledging Shields' incredible talent and achievements, Fannin criticized her tone, calling it over the top and unnecessary. He emphasized that Thurman stepped into a difficult fight as an underdog and still showed courage, something every fighter deserves respect for.
One time in a couple years, 2 times in a few years, he's moving up to a weight class. He's in a weight class where Sebastian Fundora is the most dangerous guy in the weight class. He's 36, 37 years old. Sebastian Fundora is in his late 20s, mid to late 20s. This is if you know anything about the sport of boxing, this is designed pretty much for Sebastian Fundora to get Keith Thurman's name on his resume. And Keith Thurman is not stupid enough not to know that, but yet he was brave enough and he was risking it enough, willing to risk it enough to get in the ring with that kid. And a lot of people would not do that. You're going to see that when people start trying to unify. You're going to see what a dangerous person Sebastian Fundora is, specifically for a guy of the dimensions of a Keith Thurman.
Meanwhile, Blue Blood Sports TV also called out Shields' recent behavior. Despite her undefeated record and accomplishments, they argued she hasn't faced male fighters at the elite level she's calling out, like Rolando Romero or Gennady Golovkin. They also highlighted just how dangerous Fundora is, standing around.
It's awful hard to argue strongly against it because he was getting busted up. It was a whitewash. It was one-way traffic. It didn't look like he had answers. He had the right idea, but it wasn't being executed. The idea was to move, use his athleticism, move side to side, keep Fundora moving his feet, switching his stances, and then get in, jump in, move in, close in real quick and attack when Fundora wasn't ready to punch. It looked like that was the only strategy that made sense. It looked like his people at least had him prepared for a strategy. It's not like we see too many of these guys that they come in as underdogs and they have no strategy.